sorry I'm late. Let's do this.
Widow's up top.
I'm on point, dude.
Genji, you want Nino?
Okay, guys, lock in. It's overtime.
Let's stagger, let's stagger.
On me, on me, on me. Yeah, I'm dead.
Down.
My ult's ready.
Xander.
Dead.
Pushing, I'm pushing.
No, pull back.
Hold car, we're down. That was so bad.
Yeah, we suck. Yep.
Let's try something new.
Diving back line.
No, I'm dead.
Widow's down.
Matrix, battle.
Oh, no.
I got pulse bomb.
Back on cart. Come on, back on cart.
Oh, going in.
Stop the cart.
Oh my god! Ah! Go to Did you see that?
Making their OWCS World Finals debut, please welcome to the stage, Team Phoenix!
Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm ready.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is time to see, well, who's going to be taking the bigger share of that 50K prize pool from FACEIT in these grand finals. We already have our two teams for those OWCS promotion relegation matches. It's Dhillducks, it's Kintsugi, but now they're going to decide who will be on top for season 8 of FACEIT Masters.
Both of these teams have earned a spot in our OWCS promotion relegation matches happening this week, a chance at the bigs. But you know what? We still have a championship. We still have a crown to give and to see who is the absolute best team here in Season 8 in what has been the most competitive season of FACEIT League yet. Your top teams still had 3 losses. It was highly touted, highly competitive coming into this playoffs. And to be the two teams standing alone, to be the two teams left here on Championship Sunday is already a huge feather in the cap of these squads. Now we have the Ducks looking to claim a championship for the first time since 2025. We've got Kintsugi looking for the repeat. You're defending champions, looking to be the first team to ever take back-to-back Master Division championships.
Right, and it's also a tale of two stories. Dhillducks looking for redemption in OWCS after a disaster 2025, right? And Kintsugi, the team that had almost was not even a team anymore, right? Looking to come back together better than ever and take this series and look to catapult themselves into OWCS.
I a bit agree and disagree with those previous statements. Kintsugi, absolutely an incredible, beautiful story of the rebuild of the squad. To say that Dhillducks did not have a successful 2025, though, I disagree wholeheartedly, because this is a team that would always win their promotion relegation matches. So it doesn't matter how good you were in Master Division, all of the champions, they all fell to the Ducks when it came to OWCS PNR matches, and it wouldn't surprise me to see the Ducks win it out yet again. I mean, they're like 4-0 in PNR matches. It's a bit ridiculous, but it is true that they were not able to win very many maps in OWCS. But you know what they did win? They did win FACEIT League Master Division. They have conquered this mountain before.
Yeah, right. That's more what I was discussing, their OWCS life. Not like you said, the best team probably obviously in the PNR matches so far in the history of OWCS. We'll see if they can continue their winning ways, right, against Disguised or Extinction coming up later this week. But again, this is again a tale of two different teams going into this grand finals, right? With Kintsugi really favoring that Maocat Bastion composition. Obviously, Dhillducks will go for it as well, but again, we've seen time and time again they're willing to stray away from that composition more and more when it suits them. And they've looked pretty good on other things as well.
Dhillducks will pull out some weird, fun stuff. They kind of always have. This is a team that plays by instinct. They kind of play by what they're feeling in the moment. They play by the fire in their hearts, and sometimes not the synapses in their brains, right? You know, it's kind of a team that plays with their gut. But that's okay. You know what? It takes a lot of styles here in FACEIT League. And you know what? We got Season 9 registration open. I expect to see a lot of different styles of play next season as we will continue on here with FACEIT League throughout the entirety of 2026. Every single season with stakes on the line. With every single season, you could fight your way to a promotion spot just like these two teams have here today. That Season 9 registration, once again, is now open. Hey, you can even do your favorite. Use code BullSkunk on checkout. Get yourself 20% off. That is an option. But we've got an expanded and improved season format here for Season 9, including an all-new team finder that just looks really, really good. A huge overhaul on that. We've added tokens into the mix so that you can have a sub or somebody that you're trying out play without having to fully pay for their whole league pass. You can just get a little bit, small investment to have them come play for you for a week and try them out. A lot of huge improvements going into Season 9. Go check it out.
Yeah, Team Finder, something really exciting for this this next coming season, right? Role specifications for the captains, availability expectations, filters to filter down even to the language that they speak, right? So you're not trying out random people that can't speak the same language you guys are doing, right? This is huge for...
And you might have tried the Team Finder in the past and not seen those things. This has been completely overhauled here for Season 9. It is so much more improved. And you can see the personality of the teams or the players that you're looking for, like you're talking about. It's way more than just your baseline, we need tank, I'm a tank, right? It goes so much more in depth than that. Really nice overhaul.
Yeah, and right now we don't have to just rely on Discord postings, Twitter postings, anything like that, right? We can go all encompassing on the FACEIT schedule. We'll have an ad for you later on for more encompassing of what this team finder is. But these two teams are already set in stone, and we'll look at them right now. Karmez and Snowl on that DPS line, a really, really good DPS duo. But I'm looking at redex, right? We're talking about Jetpack Cat. We're talking about Bastion. redex, one of the best cat players in NA, right? Someone to look out for as well. Krawi, right? A lot of pedigree in that tank role. Overwatch League, OWCS resume for Krawi, right? So that's someone to look to take over this roster.
Ducks that just have their own flavor. We will mostly likely exclusively see Krawi today. Don't expect to see a whole lot of Baz. Baz has not played as much in this past season, just with the way the meta has shifted, right? Maybe if we get a little bit more Winston into the mix, maybe we see get Baz to come back in. But the real magic here is definitely going to be in the catch, but also in the versatility of Dhillducks and putting a lot of faith into just the raw mechanical skill of players like Snowl, like Krawi, and in using their extensive history and just expertise to try to win it out mechanically. Snowl has been another huge upcomer. It's really made a huge name for themselves. A big glow up here in Season 8. Now, are they Jutsu level? I mean, I guess this matchup will tell us.
Right. Obviously, I've been keeping an eye on Snowl for a while, right? From their time in collegiate as well. Now on this Dhillducks roster, we'll have to see, right? It's going to be a task for Snowl to live up to Jutsu. But we can take a look here at Kintsugi as well, right? We just saw them, and we're going to tell you about them again. We'll keep singing the praises of Jutsu on that hit scan roll for this Kintsugi roster. Well, Hitori, she was non-stop in the face of Anomaly, looking to do the same against Dhillducks.
Hitori feels like she's been vying for a spot in the OWCS for some time now. Has bounced around a little bit between playing in EMEA, playing in NA, trying to find a good home, trying to find a good fit where I think not only are her talents really maximized in her unique hero pool, but also a strong leadership capability from Hitori and finding a place where that best fits. And I think this roster, this has been one of the most at home I think we have seen Hitori in recent memory. I mean, you've also got a wonderful backline here. I want to shout out KiWii. KiWii has looked spectacular. He's got picked up to play Overwatch World Cup for Team England here this year. You know, we be their first time participating in OWWC, so huge congratulations there. But I think just that alone goes to show you the pedigree of this backline and KiWii in particular.
Yeah, right. This is going to be a lot on the line here. Again, a share of that 50K prize pool, and it all starts out on Oasis. As I mean, hey, love it when it's not Lijiang Tower, because it always feels like it is, especially in these deciding series. But we have our bans. Kintsugi banning out the Cassidy to start us off with the Ducks by banning out Sigma.
Interesting. Okay. I love Oasis. I think Oasis is my favorite control map. It's an extremely fundamental map. This is where you can control angles where you have to sacrifice good angles and good positioning to anchor the cart. And so it becomes a matter of angles. Can you protect your tank while they're trying to hold down the objective, right? Not necessarily the cart, but the point. And so there's a lot of just fundamentals across all three of these points going into the bans. I mean, Dhillducks have done their homework, right? They know Kintsugi can play some weird stuff, including the crazy raccoon comp with the Sigma and the Mizuki. So they're immediately going to go after that. And it wouldn't surprise me to see us just start off with the Castion right out of the gate.
Yeah, that's what these bans have kind of set us up for. And obviously we'll see if that continues to be the case or if things change down the line when we get into these other maps. But Oasis is our starting point, and well, we'll see how these two teams decide to attack it.
I think one of the things we're kind of controlling here is the flavor of Catchin. Since both of these teams are kind of looking at this new little whimsical comp that has infiltrated our meta, there are a couple of variations, right? We've seen teams run like the Diva and the Cassidy is a common variation, where we've also seen the Maga and the Reaper kind of go together as well. And so with the Cassidy ban here for Kintsugi, I really think they're trying to just ever so slightly mold and finesse what flavor of Catchin we see here today. Of course, we'll get a final determination on that here in the next 20-30 seconds as these doors start to open, but we are getting into it. It's time for your grand finals. It's the final match of Season 8 right here, kicking off right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, Krawi has been a little bit more biased towards this Diva instead of the Mauga that Kintsugi is really favoring throughout this series. An interesting look right now. I think it's probably just for the extra speed. Yeah, okay, probably Philly's going to go back over to the Kiriko. I was about to say, the Juno, not something we were expecting, but still, we shall see as both these two teams now looking to begin their grand finals with a dogfight in the sky to begin, poking, prodding, now flying in around and about. JUTSU to start us off with the opening for Kintsugi.
Just laser focused onto that cash. And despite, the Dhillducks should theoretically get more value out of their front line, Krawi far less susceptible to the damage from the Reaper than Hitori is going to be. So you think karmez and Snowl can just focus down that, the big giant tank. But you know what? If JUTSU is just going to find perfect shots, then you're kind of done. Now a huge flank here.
Let's now go forward. JUTSU's going to get caught here. The dogs fight back and forth. Now we'll see The play coming in already. Dhillducks looking to take back this point. Gotta get there before it gets too out of hand into the favor of Kintsugi, as they're already gonna see that the turning of the tide back to the Ducks' favor.
Well, man, what a beautiful pair of fights. We have been perfectly shown an example of the strength of these two compositions. If Kintsugi's able to get those early picks behind the insane accuracy of Jutsu, Kintsugi's going to win these fights. If Dhillducks can focus their attention onto Hitori and that Maga, then Dhillducks have the advantage.
Yeah, we'll see now as they're going to push forward already. Snowl looking for that opening yet again. Now all gang rushing. Lich has to walk away, go for the time being. Now artillery strike out from Snowl, but well, they've lost their size for the moment. Yeah, Krawi going to get demech. This is going to be a quick retake by Kintsugi as Jutsu lands that artillery strike.
Nice little trade from Philly amidst all of that, but you gotta love the grenade shot from Jutsu that sent Snowl off the map. That was spectacular. And I mean, really, Jutsu is your server admin right now. Dhillducks, if you can't kill Jutsu, the fight's still going. As long as Jutsu lives, there's still a hope for Kintsugi to win.
Is now, well, Kitsune Rush is going to start us off from Dhillducks, both of them dueling on the point. Lich is going to be the first person to get it going. A nice Catnapper comes in. Is it going to be enough? The trades come back. It's all even, 2 for 2 so far. 3v3 on this point, but is it going to be enough? Lich is dealing so much damage with these Hellfire shotguns. Can they, the Ducks turn it back, dive into the backline? Death Blossom getting all gobbled up, and Krawi is there to finish it off in the end. But now the respawns are back, and Dhillducks don't really have that advantage any longer. The self-destruct had to be invested, but no longer on the point is Krawi. Is the point back to Dhillducks' favor?
Beautiful job from Lich to hold on to that. Gets Kintsugi up to 96%. And they're getting right back into this thing. Hitori's got a cage fight to try to close out this opening round.
Already coming in 3v3 on the point, and now trying to stay off. Is KiWii falling? Is Hitori trying to finish it off in their favor, but gonna have to run for the hills. They are the last person remaining.
So Ducks maintain through the very quick re-engage out of Kintsugi. Despite the Hitori cage fight, Hitori got a couple with that. You get 2 kills, but Ducks are able to equalize almost immediately, and then just plant their feet and fend off Kintsugi. Final fight here for the round. We'll have Kitsune rushes from both sides.
Not gonna come through already for them. Dhillducks looking to turn it back, keep it going their way. redex is gonna fall. There goes KiWii taking Krawi off the side of the map as well, and it will quickly go back to Kintsugi, and the first round of Oasis and the grand finals will be in their hands.
I thought redex was going to drop Hitori off the side. We saw redex use the ultimate, go grab Hitori and fly away. And then we kind of cut to another camera. And it's actually Kintsugi who are dragging, what was it? Krawi off the side. So it was a very quick turnaround. Both Catnappers advanced simultaneously. You for a split second thought Hitori was gone. Hitori gets the kill onto redex. And it is in fact KiWii who finds the pick with their cat ultimate. And that is the quick turnaround. Looking at it right. Oh, there it is. Oh, Hitori landed on dry ground. That's what it was. Hitori killed redex just in time. Did you see how close that was to Hitori going into the drink? Wow.
Could have changed everything there. Now, not gonna see, well, not yet going to see that some people play in traffic point just yet. Dhillducks need to win the sub-variant to do that for us, but going in onto this next one right, a little bit better for Krawi on this diva, this high ground. So important to take care of. You cannot let Jutsu do whatever they want. Already, Lich being forced away, point pressured up now. by Kintsugi and Hitori as Snowl falling down. JUTSU again starting it off here for Kintsugi and looking to take first capture yet again.
That was JUTSU just kind of let Snowl punch themselves out, kind of use a boxer analogy here. But still continuing, but a massive advantage for Kintsugi. They're just looking to clean up here on this opening fight. They're going to try to compress Kintsugi into hallway. Karmez, oh, that's a terrible place to ice block. You're not going to be able to get out of that one in one piece. Oh my goodness, unless you can trap Kintsugi with the wall. All right. Well, you know what? Kintsugi have grabbed first cap, but now you've got a Kintsugi rush from Dhillducks.
Yeah, artillery strike came through from JUTSU, but still waiting it out. And there's the flip back over. Blizzard out onto the point. LICH trying to run for the hills, able to get away. And now you still have this upper hand, though. If you are a Dhillducks, is well, running away is the rest of Kintsugi.
Dhillducks match percentage, winning second fight. Krawi up to the high ground to make sure the always lethal JUTSU just doesn't have free reign down onto the objective. JUTSU drops down. We're going to hit the configuration. Now there's a Kintsugi Russian play.
As Frothy Philly falling, point flips back over, but hey, Hitori's off the side of the map, so hey, still could take this fight, definitely, as Snowl falls down themselves, but looks better and better for Dhillducks to keep going, and it looks like no, they will not lose the lead either way, as Dhillducks back in control.
KiWii doing their best Han Solo impression. Go running down the hallway chasing somebody, and then they turn back and run away the other direction, being chased by a horde of Dhillducks players. That was a hysterical moment. And KiWii just gets sent packing. Dhillducks are still in control, and karmez has got another blizzard. Oh, what a wall.
Good wall indeed. Now right on top of him with the Death Blossom coming in, but the blizzard even bigger from karmez to lock it down and keep the point in control for the Ducks.
I mean, I think the Ducks were just thanking Hitori for throwing down that cage fight. I mean, it was a good wall. Hitori tries to use the overrun just to avoid the CC. You see the Suzu come in. All of that happens before karmez hits Q. They're like, oh, you just used all of your cooldowns? Here you go. Gargantuan blizzard out of karmez. They're in that fight. One last needed to send us to a round 3 if Dhillducks can take this fight round here.
Now they come forward, out of the point, go Kintsugi looking to take it back, but in comes that Kitsune rush from Frothy Philly, rushing them back, running away, still have to come through. And now we'll see if it's going to walk forward. That looks all but over on this point as LICH falling down, overtime ticking away, and that shall be that, as well. It is just KiWii left on the point. Artillery strike to stop anyone from touching, and we will get to play in traffic here as Dhillducks tie up the series.
Get an interesting look at our two different styles once again. This one with a bit of a different flavor, with the make coming into the mix here from karmez and Ducks. The blizzard was huge. You end up seeing Hitori just trying to make a swap there for the end, but nobody had any ultimates. The real important one was this move right here. I mean, look at all the cooldowns thrown in. karmez just gets the freest blizzard you've ever seen in your life. An enormous play and a real tilting point here of this map one so far. Like you said, we're headed to City Center here for this third and final round. No changes. karmez is going to stick with this Mei.
Yeah, I mean, that Mei looked really good for Dhillducks that last night and the end, and now we'll see if they can continue to show that dominance of that Mei for them, as JUTSU is already in the sky, countering them out. There is Snowl coming in. The dogfight in the sky. Who will find it? It looks like Snowl had to drop down. The tether was broken. Still no one falling quite just yet. Swift stepping away, but Frothy Philly could not stay alive there, Jeff. And it looks like, unless something drastically changes for this fight, Kintsugi will take that first fight.
Yeah, you get enough damage there at the end, kind of force Krawi out, and Dhillducks will eventually have to back away. I guess this is a magical pairing between KiWii and JUTSU. The way KiWii was able to hover JUTSU just at the right height to keep them in cover and kind of peek up above the rooftops. I mean, this looks like JUTSU is in control of their own flying. It's hard. You forget that somebody else is controlling JUTSU's movements. They've been so darn perfect.
Yeah, they've been looking incredible throughout this series so far, and the stream so far. As Frothy Philly down already, and that might just be the beginning of this fight. All done, dusted. Lich with another kill.
JUTSU are an incredible combo. I mean, hive mind. And in that scenario, they just run the Dhillducks players right into the welcoming arms of Lich. Everybody's trying to flee, scramble to escape the Bastion, and Lich is just right there. The Reaper reaping souls indeed. No, I mean, JUTSU's just shooting into their spawn. You've got to be kidding me. This is going to be a big old fight, though. We got a massive rock show incoming. This could be 7-8 ults invest. We're looking at Kintsugi rushes, cage fight out of Hitori, but it was last time countered perfectly by the Karmez Blizzard.
Now we'll see Dhillducks looking to come back into the series. See if they can come together. There is the artillery strike down, Blizzard out, Hitori locked up in it as they're walking through with that cage right now. Death Blossom into the back. Karmez finding Hitori out, but it's still JUTSU standing tall for Kintsugi to finish it off, and maybe, just maybe, taking this first map here in our grand finals. JUTSU still alive, juking, jiving, trying to stay alive, but Karmez stands tall in the duel with JUTSU. But the respawn's coming back here, Jeff. It's not over quite just yet, but it looks like Kintsugi will give up this push.
Nagi's had enough. Coach is gone. Oh, Karmez doesn't even build up the Blizzard during that fight. I mean, we did get the enormous amount of ultimates that I anticipated, with the exception being the Karmez Blizzard. Yet still, Karmez is a huge turning point, and having is the one to get the important kills to swing that fight back around. The Ducks do have to stay flawless for the remainder of this map, but they hold on to that all-important Blizzard as well, as Frothy Philly's close to a Kintsugi rush as well. That wasn't intended.
Now we go into the fight. Break it out. They got this Blizzard back online yet again for Karmez. The artillery strike comes through. Damage down. But is it going to matter? There's the Kitsune rush in. Snowl found out. JUTSU starting us off yet again for Kintsugi. Is it going to matter? Is it going to change anything? They're still on high. You're looking to get the self-destruct in. Are they going to find it? They do. The tether is there, and the bomb comes in as Krawi cleans up the remaining members. KiWii falling down, and there should be more and more coming through as they're going to have to reset.
If you combined Wrecking Ball with the nuke, that is basically what we just saw on our screen. I mean, we've seen the cat bomb before, the ball of yarn, as I like to call it. But I mean, redex was just dangling that thing all over the entire point. Kintsugi didn't know which way to turn. It ends up being a huge two-piece self-destruct, and that'll force us to final fight. And Karmez has yet to unleash this Blizzard.
Now they come through into the next engagement here, right? They have this Blizzard still for Hitori's cage fight, and out there comes the cage fight, and there's the Blizzard right afterwards, locking down the point. Hitori gone, and this could just be it. As well, we'll see the trades coming in. JUTSU just does not say no. Artillery strike coming through. Karmez trying to lock him down. Is it going to matter? Krawi D-Mac. Point flipping back over to Kintsugi. And well, now redex gone as LICH cleans it up with 3. That should be it. Map 1 going to Kintsugi.
That was insane. Dhillducks did everything right in the first part of that map. There's just the JUTSU factor. You throw a blizzard in which perfectly counters not only cage fight, but Kintsugi rush as well, two of the most important ultimates that Kintsugi have available to them. Then you are able to use the artillery strike to survive through the Death Blossom, right? So then you got three highly important ultimates, very lethal ultimates out from Kintsugi, and all devalued by some, by a blizzard and an artillery strike. Everything's going great. Like that is everything in your favor that you could possibly ask for here if you're the Dhillducks. But man, JUTSU just turns around and gets two killer opening picks, forces the remaining three ducks to scramble, low on health, and then they just get cleaned up. LICH is right there to find the triple kill to close out map 1, and Kintsugi will take the 1-0 lead. Beautifully done.
Very good stuff. Very good stuff indeed from Kintsugi. Again, really showing up why they were champions last season. Now showing us again in these grand finals. JUTSU has just been on a tear today, Jeff. They are non-stop go, all gas, no brakes. They continue to assert their will on these series, and we're gonna continue to sing their praises throughout the series.
I mean, you keep playing like that, I mean, it's well-deserved. And if they keep playing like that, then JUTSU is gonna be the most important factor for both teams. Does JUTSU find value? Kintsugi are going to win. Can Dhillducks shut them down? Then the Ducks might find themselves with some map wins. But I think everything is going to hinder around these bastions today, and JUTSU looks to be the best in the league.
Yeah, continuing to look so good on this bastion. Even when they get off the bastion to the Sojourn, last series was impeccable. The Cassidy, impeccable as well. Now, we shall see what the Ducks have in store for us here going into map number 2, right? They've got to look to tie this series up. Obviously, again, this is a 1st to 4. So, right, losing that first map, not the end of the world. But losing a second map here kind of makes things a little bit more difficult. Then your backs are towards against the wall. And if it's all 3, you might just say it's all said and done there. But Aatlis going to be our next map of choice for the Dhillducks.
Yeah, very important map as far as an 0-2 scoreline and a 1-1 scoreline are a very, very different monster, right? That could swing the entire championship in your favor if the Ducks are able to come back and get an answer here in their map pick of Aatlis. Aatlis alone, what does it tell us? It tells us that they went astray from the cat's chin a little bit, right? We don't see that composition as frequently because of the way Aatlis is designed. You don't get a lot of opportunity to make the most of the very fast rotations, and I think it's a lot easier for your front line to get run down when you do. When you send the cat and the bastion on an adventure, that leaves 3 players isolated. Your opponent has a window of opportunity to send 5 in against the 3 and just win the fight outright. Aatlis favors the team of 5. It's not as easy to run your 3-2 splits here. What's the other thing that we see here is we see the Dhillducks banning out the Maga. So once again, we're kind of talking about shaping the flavor. So the map kind of uses to just shift the compositions. But even so, even if Dhillducks are able to force this ground and pound, they do not want to play that Maga version. You do not want to have to go up against the Hitori Maga at any cost.
Yeah, right. And obviously we saw it from those bans coming in. Dhillducks banning that Maga out immediately. And, well, and both these bans, right, make total sense. Looking at Kintsugi's, right, karmez put them in the ringer with that May, and now no longer available for this. See how Dhillducks will respond with not seeing a cat bastion on Kintsugi's side.
Yeah, the Hitori Zarya, very potent flavor of ground and pound, particularly with LICH returning on this, returning on the karmez is actually, yeah, sticking with the sim. So if Dhillducks can close the gap, there it is. Okay, teleporter ambush used to just try to run down whoever they can. They find KiWii caught out, an opportunistic pick, an opportunistic 2-piece, should I say, from Snowl before LICH returns the favor.
Yeah, really good. Easy fight from Dhillducks there, right off the back of that teleporter, like you said. And now, well, first capture goes their way and looking to turn it back in, turn the tide of this series back into their favor.
JUTSU does steal a lot of our conversation, but you can't underestimate LICH either. LICH is one of the best next up Flux DPS players, and it's one of the roles I think NA does really well. We see a lot of S-tier tanks come out of EMEA. We see a lot of S-tier Flux DPS here in NA, and LICH is absolutely among them.
Yeah, definitely is. Hitori, very high charge, and you're going to see it. She takes down Snowl in the back line there early on, and now, well, the rest of Kintsugi are going to follow quickly after with her as LICH finds 3 in that fight. The Reaper is doing the Reaper things.
There you go. Thank you, LICH, for validating me, glazing you. I appreciate it. That was the caster blessing. It's the opposite of a caster curse. That's what we normally do around here, Joker.
Yeah. I've never had a caster blessing.
Never happens. Never happens. Keep an eye on support ults coming up for this next fight. We're going to have, I mean, the sound barrier from KiWii is an enormous X factor here.
It really is. It really is. Especially with this Kitsune rushes coming in from both of them. But Juno's going to start us off early on. Now Frothy Philly dropping their own. That Blossom in the back line. LICH finding one. JUTSU with the follow-up, and that will be the fight win. Krawi trying to get away with their life.
You can get that pick on the Krawi. Oh, at the very least, you force out self-destruct. But with that self-destruct, I think Dhillducks will have another shot at this point. If they had secured the kill on the Diva, that's just station right there. Grab in.
Oh, and a good E.
Got eaten.
Krawi. Huge E indeed. And now you can definitely come back into this catnapper. And Juno down. Barrier on the point here. JUTSU, though, finds a kill with the Deadeye. So it's anyone's point, no longer having redex, but you're still sitting pretty if you're the Ducks. But Frothy Philly's falling. That's not what you needed. But you still could take this, especially if you can find this priority pick onto Hitori. And there they go. Krawi and karmez locking it down. Overtime ticking away. You get a touch by Juno, but it's all she wrote here as Dhillducks take the first point of Aatlis.
You see JUTSU find that pick onto redex, and you're like, yeah, okay. I mean, the cat, not exactly the strongest member of this composition once you're already established. Then you see JUTSU get that pick onto Frothy Philly, and you're like, oh, that's actually a high impact right there. But Ducks sand supports hang on through that important fight to take station. Now move in here with a great defender's advantage. This is wonderful positioning to start things off on gardens.
Now JUTSU again just finding these priority picks early on. No hero for this fight for Dhillducks. Now JUTSU kind of in a getting rushed down like Indiana Jones by someone. Hey, that's still, is it going to be enough, right? Karmez is going to find a pick onto Juno there, but it looks like maybe no, it should be Kintsugi taking this this first point or second point here.
I mean, job's not done. There's definitely a player advantage, and karmez is down. redex is going to try to catnap. Hitori and JUTSU low, but LICH has really been finishing off any fight. As soon as things feel like they're slipping between Kintsugi's fingers, there's LICH. This time with a Death Blossom, taking out Frothy Philly 94% towards that Kitsune rush. Kintsugi will take control here. That was a long opening fight. This is the first cap we've had on Gardens.
Yeah, I think LICH was finished with the JUTSU glaze and wants us to talk about him now as looking really good on this Reaper.
Yeah, Death Blossom used in that exchange, but now you're coming up on Graviton Surge. You're coming up, you've got Kitsune Rush ready to go. So it'll be Kitsune's match here at the very beginning. Watch for the grab later in this fight.
As now we go forward, here's the play out from the artillery strike in. Photon Barrier intersecting the point with those Kitsune rushes, mirroring each other there as well. Point is being pressured up by the Ducks, but can they confirm the hold as Hitori falls down? And that should allow Dhillducks to take it when it's all said and done.
I've got to give credit to redex on that one. You knew the win con, and that was getting Hitori out of that fight before Grav comes online. You get that kill at 99%. That was how close that fight was. Talk about it on a knife's edge, but good focus fire and great ult tracking out of Dhillducks deliver him that win. Now you got to worry about Grav this fight, though.
Yeah, you got to worry about this Grav, right? Could seal it all, but again, Krawi earlier on was Mr. Hungry Hippo. We'll see if it's going to happen again, but karmez already down for this fight. You might not even need to invest Grav, or you could just invest it when Krawi's out of mech. Self-destruct not going to be invested into this. The point flips back over to Kintsugi off the back of nothing. You didn't have to invest anything into that fight, and they tie up Aatlis.
And that's a backbreaker. With Kintsugi still holding on to very important ultimates and even have a lead on the Kitsune, which were invested simultaneously previously, right? So Juno's been able to build up about a 20% lead on what is the most powerful ultimate in the game. That could be a turning of the tides that delivers a 2-0 lead here to Kintsugi. Dhillducks have got to overcome a massive econ deficit right now.
We'll see here now, going forward. Snowl in the sky, looking to take down JUTSU early on. Tether broken, down goes JUTSU with the catnapper coming through, but in the response, so does Snowl. And in the meanwhile, Kintsugi are in control of this fight. The self-destruct had to be invested. Hitori low, but Juno there to keep them all up and her up and healthy as they take the third point.
And JUTSU not in that fight, but LICH is absolutely there to pick up the slack. Hitori does end up using that Graviton Surge, and it's enough to secure the kill. I mean, it was a bloodbath of a fight, but good ultimates from KiWii and Hitori are able to keep this one going, and Kintsugi stay on top, both in control as well as in ult economy.
As now we go in. JUTSU already down for the count. The Kitsune rush in from Frothy Philly. karmez has made the swap over to the Cassidy, and it's doing wonders here. The Peacekeeper doing so much damage for the Ducks, taking the fight to Kintsugi and taking that point back.
I have no idea what happened there. Like, well, how did Juno not get a Kitsune rush into that fight? How did JUTSU just get left alone on top of that pillar? It was easy shooting there for Snowl. Where I don't understand the plan from Kintsugi where none of these things changed. KiWii should have been there to save JUTSU from that vulnerable position. Juno should have been in a spot to respond to the Kitsune rush. None of those things happened, and I'm baffled as to why. I suppose you have the Kitsu for this next fight. Juno's gonna hit Q.
There is the Kitsune rush in from Juno. Deadeye coming in from the sky, but Hitori able to block it up, and JUTSU able to confirm the kill. Now they do fall quickly afterwards, so it's still definitely a chance for Kintsugi to hold on to this, but Snowl says no. There goes the catnapper into the drink in response. Now, is it going to matter? Is it going to change the tide of this fight? Dhillducks firmly in control for now, and redex says no, finishing it all off. Hitori on the point, high charge in charge, but finally falling down with karmez coming back from spawn in overtime now, ticking away, trying to hold on, but it looks like shall go to the Ducks for point 3.
And Ducks overcome that ult economy I was talking about. We see the Juno Kitsu invested in there. I didn't really see it have much of an impact. I was too distracted by redex just clawing the eyes out of the entire enemy team. Drags JUTSU off the side, is able to win the cat fight over KiWii, and redex making the jetpack cat look lethal once again.
Now we come in here, already working towards this next and maybe final point. If Dhillducks can take this point here, as JUTSU opens it up. Artillery strike confirming karmez out of this fight for now. Kintsugi now walking back. They have to be wary. There's the Kitsune rush in from Frothy Philly. Now still holding it out, and LICH trying to stay alive somehow, some way, finally falling down. Point is being pressured up as Kintsugi do take it to start us off, but for how much longer, right? There's an overwhelming presence of ducks on this point, and there it will go. 16% up, 17 up for Kintsugi.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of got that, I mean, not just for free, but they got that while there was an opposing Kitsu in play on the point. I was very shocked that Ducks even gave up that 17%. They were forced to kind of retreat back with, LICH was ulting, put pressure on them, but Dhillducks, despite losing a couple early, are able to win down from that fight. Another exceptional performance, and once again, Dhillducks fighting from behind and coming up golden, coming up with success, coming up with the point.
Now coming in, there's the Deadeye out from karmez. JUTSU lands on the JUTSU, sorry. It's now artillery strike coming through from the Dhillducks, from Snowl onto the point. KiWii down, and well, it looks like the Ducks have it firmly in their hands for this point, and maybe the map indeed. There will be a chance for a touch, but will it be a good one?
And I mean, can you get past now with karmez? karmez with 3 in that fight. We're rocking the cast, and he played a little bit more hit scan here, kind of discussing karmez in the fast hero pull a little bit before going live. And this casting has looked exceptional. Hitori's going to see if they can fight their way back onto this point, but the grab gets nothing.
Nothing coming through, and the damage has been done. Juno down, now Hitori hitting the deck as she is back to spawn, and so is our series as it's all tied up 1-1.
I mean, and the grab actually caught people in it, but you're not able to get any of those final blows. You're not able to get any of the follow-up. So no fatalities as a result of that all-important graviton surge from Hitori. So even though you actually caught people, I didn't mean to imply that it was a Nene grab, but it still was a zero-value grab. At the end of the day, what a clap back here from the Ducks. We're all tied up in your grand finals.
Yeah, definitely needed that, and the momentum has shifted back to the Ducks' favor here now after a really good first map by Kintsugi, showing us why they were the Ducks were the team coming in from the upper bracket portion of our bracket, right? Man, oh man, it's nice to see things that aren't just cat bashed, and obviously we saw a lot of it, but man, the difference that no Malga makes makes a lot more fun watching.
Yeah, even with the catch. It's honestly the cats. The cats, both KiWii and redex have actually made this a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with you, right? We were talking about it. redex probably one of the best cats in NA, right? And we're seeing it here. KiWii living up to it. Obviously, can't call. Can we call KiWii one of the best cats in NA? Since even though they are EMEA based.
No, you're playing in NA.
Okay.
You're playing in NA. Like that's just
right.
So we compare you with the other competitors that you're playing against. Like, I'm sorry you're playing on ping. We do take that a little bit into account, I suppose. But at the end of the day, can you perform? Can you kill your opposition? That's what really matters.
No, definitely. And yeah, we're seeing a really good cat matchup tonight between KiWii and redex. We'll see if that can continue. If that continues, or are we going to be seeing any? Are we going to see that cat being banned outright? I mean, that is definitely in the cards for either of these two teams. Also depends on where we head next, right? We have not gotten that information quite just yet, but it'll be interesting. Obviously, Flashpoint just picked, so still a lot of map types available here.
I was honestly surprised we got the Catchin on Aatlis. I was talking about I didn't really expect it there. Tend to have as much room to fly your Bastion around, and also it can be a little bit more difficult to play the 3-2 split that you often see in that composition. But you know what? Both teams pulling it out here kind of indicates to me that I'm not sure either team really wants to stray from this comp too much. So wherever we go, bans may become a little bit null and void other than just small finessing, but I'm not anticipating really any change here. Not gonna lie.
Wow. I was not expecting this map, Jeff. Oh my goodness, it's been too long. Numbani coming in here for our next map pick by Kintsugi. And then obviously trying to counter out what we're going to be seeing. Diva ban coming in from Kintsugi and Ana being banned out by the Ducks.
Yeah, Numbani is a very, very Castion heavy map. Very good at running 2-3 splits on this map. This map is better played if you're able to kind of separate and control multiple angles, kind of a little bit of high ground control combined with anchoring the cart and good corner pressure is the name of the game here. One of the reasons I think Numbani is so hated because it is actually a very complicated map. It's very difficult to play properly. And so if you end up with everybody on the low ground, then you can get picked apart from a Cassidy or any kind of hit scan just positioned on the numerous pieces of high ground littered around all 3 points of this map. Very difficult map, but one that does lend itself to the Castion.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see how it goes. As looks like Kintsugi will be attacking first on this map as well. An interesting little tidbit. I know we've had this discussion in the past between if you choose to attack or defend. Right now, with the way Aatlis went, right, you kind of have that momentum in the Ducks' favor. Would have kind of expected the decision to defend first, to try to shut down that momentum. But we'll see if that momentum can quickly go into Kintsugi's favor if we see a very dominant offensive push.
That's extraordinarily close from map 2. I mean, these two teams are playing each other so tight. Snowl with top damage there in map 2. We'll see if that continues here heading into Numbani. Out-damaged both tanks in that one there, Joker. I mean, that's how good Snowl was looking there on Aatlis in that Bastion. But karmez is right there with it. karmez 24-7, Snowl 27-8. Snowl also had top elims. So gold elims, gold damage in map 2. Go to Snowl. See if that continues here as we head into Numbani to kick things off. We will get Snowl right back into the Bastion. We're getting a same flavor of Bastion out of Dhillducks with that Diva band up from Kintsugi. Hitori able to return into the Maga heading into the fight.
Yeah, Maga back out for Hitori. She has looked her best on this hero throughout the series. Back into it. I'm interested, right? This Krawi Sigma. See if it can change things up for them, but Hitori's already asserting their will, but trades have come through, but still in the end, Kintsugi are on a tear with this first attack on Numbani. They come with the team kill.
So, that's going to be just one and done here for Kintsugi. And of course, I mean, just opens up strong, gets a ton of damage into that fight. Bing, bang, boom. Point A, right there. 5:30 in the time bank.
Now, I mean, 5 minutes and 30, and then the second point has always been kind of an afterthought here for anyone, right? We'll see if the Ducks can put a good defensive hold on this point here, or is it just going to be the afterthought it usually is? JUTSU very close to their artillery strike to start things off, and so is Snowl as well, but someone needs to open things up.
backing away here. Didn't see an opportunity to use form. We're going to wait for Juno's Kitsune Rush is what we're waiting on. So Kintsugi now have that. Here they go. Overrun in from Hitori. Watch for Juno to get this Kitsu right over Krawi. They could be in real trouble.
It could be indeed, but so is LICH. Has to force it out. Nice rock into the back line there. LICH does find karmez. The Kitsune Rush now in full force, running forward. Kintsugi, all gas, no brakes.
I mean, despite Krawi's best efforts there, I mean, really does a good job of catching Hitori just at the very tail end of the overrun, so the accretion actually makes connection. Otherwise, you know, the CC protection would have stopped that. But, you know, despite that and the great flux, it's still the Kitsu. Just like I said, just dismantle Krawi. There was really no defense for it. The Sigma's so static, it's going to be really difficult for the Ducks to make a stand, even with their own Kitsu in play.
Can't have a payment from KiWii, not going to find anything quite just yet. There's the Deadeye in from karmez, trying to find a pick, but not going to happen right now. karmez very low and taken out of it. Stunned up for the moment. Juno falling, but it still does not seem like it's enough, even though it is a priority pick, right? All the picks coming through from JUTSU. 4 kills coming in. The lockdown point number 2.
Quick 2 points on the board, 5 minutes on the clock. Same thing, you're able to get JUTSU and LICH on the high ground, and the static Krawi can't do a whole lot to match it. Dhillducks composition, you have to send somebody onto the card to prevent cap, and they are just in a nasty crossfire between the Hitori Maga and the 2 DPS on the high ground. Hitori now making a swap to the Zarya, heading into this 3rd and final point. This is a lot of front-loaded damage and pressure, all going to be pointed right at Krawi once again.
Frothy Philly and redex have made that change over to the that Zenyatta Weaver backline that we saw earlier on from Anomaly on Watchpoint Gibraltar. See if it's going to be a difference maker with Hitori going over to that Zarya as well. But LICH could be finish it all off with this Death Blossom, already looking to get into position for it. But still, there's the Flux out, coming in. Krawi looking to lock him down. JUTSU super low. Still, no one falling quite just yet. And now you're going to have to worry about the ults coming in. Stunned up. Kitsune Rush still out and about. Frothy Philly with a pick, but it's not going to matter. JUTSU is still alive and well, dealing all the damage in the world with this Kitsune Rush at their back.
Juno's very lucky that Kitsune cannot be canceled by a stun, because that accretion would have done it. It was perfect timing, but it takes a hack or a kill to cancel a Kitsune Rush. As it stands, Kintsugi have all of the resources they need to push this home. Frothy Philly gets 2 in Transcendence. What a save! Unreal save out of Frothy Philly. That was snatching victory from the jaws of defeat from this Dhillducks defense. I am in shock. What was that? What a play.
What a play indeed. What a play indeed. Is now we see what if Dhillducks can continue this hold, it's going to get a lot more difficult now. You have no ultimates on the board. That Bob's going to come in just a second for you here, though. For us, maybe buy some time, buy some space. LICH still looking for an opportunity to use this Death Blossom in there to turn the tide of this. Waiting, most likely, but there's the Death Blossom in the backline. Snowl is now down, and now Frothy Philly falls. The grab finishing it off. karmez with a kill with the pulse bomb, but it's just not gonna matter as Kintsugi take all 3 points.
So we had some Frothy Philly heroics with the Zenyatta in the previous fight. Frankly, Dhillducks were fortunate that they were able to eat another 45 seconds off the clock. But you just didn't have the resources to do anything past that. You get the big grab in, the Death Blossom well placed, perfectly positioned. LICH with a massive 3K after teleporting in the back line and getting the initial picks with the ultimate. So LICH ends up kind of being the unstoppable force there that we saw on point C. JUTSU doing work in this fight. That would be the fight that is eventually saved. Oh, that tree just ends up isolating redex. You thought you were capturing Hitori. You end up locking yourself into a tomb. And then we see that big 3-piece from LICH right here will be the one to get it done. Kintsugi, well executed attack and a 2-minute plus time bank. as they head on to the defense. It's an absolutely astronomical timing. We're looking at 6 deaths total here from Kintsugi on their attack versus 23 deaths from Dhillducks. So almost 3 times as many deaths from the Dhillducks on that defense. And I mean, your attackers should have to win more fights. It should be the other way around, and you can still complete the map. That's how exceptional Kintsugi were on that assault.
Yeah, really good stuff right now. We'll see if they can mirror it with a great defense as well to bring back the lead into for themselves. Now we will rotate in. Coming through is already super low. A good slam in, and there's the follow-up coming through from Kintsugi to send Dhillducks packing.
I was talking about how Numbani kind of really suits these big, wide flanks that are very common with this Cat Bastion comp. And, you know, I kind of used it in reference that you can do nice 2-3 splits. Kintsugi just sit all 5 along the coast and ambush Dhillducks there. What a beautiful, aggressive defense to start off this hold from Kintsugi.
Yes, now we go on to this Jutsu already finding Frothy Philly. You just kind of have to give up the point at that point, the fight at that point, right? You don't have your main source of healing any longer. You just have to reset or die.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of both. Hitori will force the issue on a few, buying more time for Kintsugi's defense. I mean, that might be enough to get 5 fights out of this if you're the Ducks, just because that was such a lightning fast attack. I mean, but if you were not impressed by Jutsu before, I mean, if you didn't know about Jutsu, we're here to let you know. Like, this gamer has got hands, and I mean giant, serious hands.
Yeah,
look at him go.
Continuing to Hitori finding that pick now. And while redex is just a cat out of water there. Now we'll see what happens. I mean, LICH with 3. Goodness gracious. Kintsugi are putting on a clinic.
I don't think Jutsu or LICH can drink like coffee or tea. Their hands are too big to manhandle a coffee mug, right? And they walk around and it looks like they've got those Hulk hands on at all times. That's the kind of hands we're seeing from Jutsu and LICH right now. They can't do anything else but win. That is what we're seeing so far on this defense. But you know what? Ducks have some ultimates to work with here. Snowl in a bit of duel there with Jutsu.
Yeah, but already getting pressured away, already to half HP, now pressuring it up, already getting 1 capture there, and that's a huge opening, right? You needed that pick on to LICH to start us off. And while the back line goes karmez, they've got the opportunity for this Blossom, and it's going to maybe wrap it all up, but Jutsu's still alive and kicking. The artillery strike in, redex able to find them out. Respawns are coming back. Will they try to touch is the real question, and doesn't seem to be the case, but there they go into the back line, but LICH is deleted, and that is all you needed as Dhillducks open up the point.
Yeah, Kintsugi tried to get aggressive once again, this time with the backing of Hitori's cage fight. But Frothy Philly drops in a well-timed Kitsu, and it looked like Hitori dropped shield and tried to disengage as Juno was investing in their own ultimate. So Kintsugi get kind of negative value out of the 4 ultimates they invest. Ducks win that out with a well-timed Kintsugi rush and a well-executed Death Blossom. Now have a cage fight of their own. Oh, but you don't have a Reaper.
Yeah, LICH continuing to show up on this Reaper. Again, just trying to get us to talk about them instead of Jutsu. But Snowl now back in control of the skies, looking to support the rest of their team and press Kintsugi with that cage fight coming in from Krawi to lock it down, and now push forward yet again.
To work with. You did use the cage fight in that endeavor, but that's the only one you used. This is all about the high ground setup. So Dhillducks have already progressively in anticipation positions now here. Snowl already in a fight with Jutsu early to have control of Rhino in this all-important angle. Catnap onto the cat! They kidnapped KiWii and Snowl gets the kill.
They catnap the cat, and now the cat has gone back to spawn. Now they'll see if, well, if they are able to hold on to this, and now it looks like they will. Hitori finds Frothy Philly, but it's just not enough. Dhillducks are going forward and capturing second point.
200 IQ play. And I mean, you take the rotation out. We were talking about how important that duel between Snowl and JUTSU on that angle. Very, very important crossfire available from that Rhino side. So JUTSU had to make a move and fight for it. So you know what? redex just removes the cat from the equation, and JUTSU just falls like a stone. Brilliant play out of the Ducks.
Look very low already. Both Reapers low. Healing is there. Kitsune rushes, matching on the point now. Cage fight coming in. You have this Death Blossom ready to go, but you've lost Krawi. You might just have to reset here if you're the Ducks. Snow's going to try to turn it back. Hitori down for the count, and well, we'll still have this chance to rotate back with Snowl as your front line, taking LICH down. JUTSU running away, trying to stay alive, as they do indeed, but Dhillducks keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I mean, you don't expect to get a lot of value out of Artillery Strike. We've seen it often just used for the extra health, but it's now getting max value. Able to equalize the tank trade, and now Ducks are one team fight away from matching Kintsugi. Cage fight out. Death
Blossom's in. Both of them find an upper hand, but karmez finds a couple more kills in the end, and we are headed to overtime as Dhillducks complete all 3 points.
Score 3-3.
Very little time. Let's go with the time displayed. As like, what, 10 seconds separating these two teams? I mean, extraordinarily close in a tied match here on Kintsugi's map pick. I believe Kintsugi will go on the attack here to start, but I mean, Snowl really rising to the occasion on Dhillducks' attack here. We have certainly and rightfully done a lot of talking about JUTSU over the course of this day, where we just saw Kintsugi take their 3-0 in the lower bracket finals. But Snowl, I mean, forcing their name into our mouths and onto our tongues there on that attack. An enormous amount of damage and a wonderful equalizer after getting just rolled on their defense. Dhillducks strike back beautifully.
Yeah, looking really good. I mean, goodness gracious, Kintsugi are just doing so much damage. But not to say the least, but that Dhillducks aren't as well. But man, JUTSU and Hitori, I believe, almost 30k damage between them themselves. Those two, right? It's just so hard to deal with that pressure coming in from the Kintsugi roster right now, from JUTSU, from Hitori. We'll see if they can continue their good defense that we saw earlier on just a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, and it's actually Docs who had the lower time bank. I wasn't mistaken on that. So they are starting on the attack. JUTSU with a wall at coast side flag, immediately swung back to main to try to duel it out against Snowl.
Snow's gonna get caught out as well early on. This duck push might have to go back, retreat, wait for that bastion.
Ducks will just disengage. Looks like they're showing us a bit of a coast approach. Do they want to send anybody up hotel? Yes, okay, so we're gonna get Krawi. We're gonna get a 3-2 split with the Cashin going coast. And looks like karmez and fucking Philly up main. Okay, no, we're gonna change a plan, all right? You don't have a lot of time to make a decision here, Ducks. You gotta make a plan and go for it. We're just gonna run it right up the gut. No nuance here.
And then now they go back into the engagement here in the fight. The dog fight coming in. JUTSU pressuring out everyone on Dhillducks right now. Gonna have to rotate back. Under 30 seconds to go. Need a push here from the Ducks if they want to stake their claim and even have a chance at taking Numbani here. Artillery strike in from Snowl. Is it going to matter? There's the chance to hold and take this map now, even if they lose this fight with Frothy Philly falling. still, can they go forward? The slam in, Krawi taking LICH out, but the trades aren't there. Kitsune rush on the points now, trying, they will, but JUTSU stands tall, but karmez still alive and well. Death Blossom ready to go and spinning to win as they come, as karmez and Dhillducks will be able to keep this push going in overtime.
Yeah, unbelievable. Dhillducks were extremely indecisive on how they wanted to take that fight. I thought they had kind of botched it, but somehow they had Jedi mind tricked Kintsugi into completely going coast side, allowing the Ducks to flip the map and poise themselves on the objective. They had no frothy Philly there. They lived through a Juno Kitsune rush. They did not have a match. It is all karmez as the hero so far.
Cage fights, Death Blossoms, everything coming at you right now as it's LICH coming with the kills that was necessary for Kintsugi to stop the push of the Ducks dead in their tracks. Now we rotate and go. And you know what? Right, that Dhillducks getting that capture on first point is huge here, Jeff. It's definitely a lot harder to open up Numbani first than many people remember.
Oh, yeah, completely agreed, my friend. This is an enormous fourth point to get on the board. The weight behind that cap cannot be understated. And Kintsugi have to be feeling the stress of this here a little bit. You know, I mean, you have JUTSU and Hitori, both leading the lobby tied for 35 elims apiece. Kintsugi have got to be feeling, hey, everything is going right. We all of our plans are pretty much going the way we draw them up. So how do you turn this around? I mean, you got Hitori and JUTSU with top damage in the lobby. You're able to be the ones to start the rotations, but you kind of got outsmarted a little bit on your defense. You kind of got baited into giving up the point basically for free, and that's where Kitsugi's mechanics alone won't be enough to win this out. They have to play smart, and they have to use their mechanics to force Dhillducks into an uncomfortable situation, not just chase them around the map.
They now come through into this into their attack. Can they solidify their lead and take a 2-1 series lead into map number 4? Or, well, is it going to be the Ducks in response? Well, we're going to find out in a second. LICH already super low. Healing comes through from that health pack. But now Hitori, Kintsugi rotating on around. They've got this two-pronged approach coming at you, and it's JUTSU from the side, taking Frothy Philly back to spawn early on, and now this almost automatically opens up this point.
Yeah, I asked for it. Kintsugi delivered. That was a 200 IQ approach. You gotta love it. The job's not done. You still have Krawi lingering here. Look for a recontest from the Ducks imminent.
Now they come in, and do they even get a touch? Do Ducks need to lock in if they want to hold on to this point? The LICH finds, LICH does go down, so does Snowl in response. Now you've got an opportunity. The trades are still there, but no longer having Krawi on this point is going to be huge, as it looks like Kintsugi will open up this point with the Death Blossom coming through. Hitori very low. Karmez is going to find a kill, but is it going to be enough? They've got some respawns coming back, but so do the Ducks. Karmez coming in clutch. Under 30 seconds here for Kintsugi. They still have a chance to take this point.
Thank you, Mr. Karmez. All Ducks fans, I need you to say thank you, Mr. Karmez. That was a save. That was a clutch and a half. Kintsugi are stopped at 99% towards getting that fourth point on the board. Now it feels like miles away. You have a cage fight, you have a Death Blossom. They have tools to work with, but the backs are up against it here in this final fight for the map.
Now we come in to it here. as KiWii finds Frothy Philly again. There's a huge opening for Kintsugi. They find the artillery strike, the damage coming down. Snowl trying to turn it back, but I think the damage is already done as Kintsugi open up the bot. But is it going to be enough? Is there going to be a contest?
I think that's the point. This is overtime spawns, and they are look how far away Dhillducks are. And they have overtime spawns to contend with. Redex is going to try to go to Lucio. You do have Frothy Philly is close enough to get a contest, but that is sacrificing your Kiriko at the very beginning of this fight. Oh, an overrun from Krawi might just make it. It's actually the Reaper who's here, but it gets his out from Juno.
Reaper gets the touch, and Krawi very close. There's the Death Blossom. LICH falls down, but the trades are in. It's all red in this kill feed as Kintsugi look to finish it all off, and it's the cat with a couple of kills to finish it off and take the 2-1 series. Kintsugi up.
Unbelievable into that map. Wow. I asked for well thought out, inspired approach from Kintsugi on that attack, and oh boy, did they deliver. Hitori, like the world's largest ninja, sneaks across coast side, and he's able to position themselves at the base of these stairs, just directly below. You can see Hitori running off right there. That same exact spot, they sneak over underneath the radar of that defense, and then Hitori does the big overrun and loops around the stairwell up that side, draws all of the aggro, draws all of the attention. So you see the Kintsugi defense, you see the Dhillducks defense turn around to have to face Hitori, and just at that exact moment, JUTSU appears on the high ground, drops the assault configuration, and just lays waste to that Dhillducks defense. A very well-planned vice grip of an assault onto that high ground, and with the overtime in play, it was just a matter of desperation. Never mind the huge clutch we're watching right now from Karmez. That clutch was so impressive. Excuse me, it was Karmez who saved it for the Ducks, but it wasn't quite enough. At the end of the day, that clutch wasn't quite enough. It is LICH that will end up coming back, and they win this fight without even using Juno's Kitsu, the one that takes point A. That was, you didn't have Juno there at all. Kintsugi able to clutch, save the Kitsune rush for the final fight here. It's the straw that broke the Ducks' back. Kintsugi take one of the closest Numbanis we have ever seen, are up 2-1 here in your grand finals. Wow, mind-blowing the level of play we're seeing here today. Gotta love Championship Sunday.
Gotta love it indeed. I mean, goodness, Karmez did everything that they could. It was just 30 seconds too early on that Numbani map. But, well, I mean, we still have at least 2 more maps to go, but we will be heading to a short little break. So stick around. You do not want to miss the end of these grand finals right here.
FACEIT League Team Finder is getting an overhaul to help you build or join rosters to start your competitive journey. We are moving beyond instant joins to an application-based system. Captains can now define the skill level, region, role, and practice time. Draft your team description and application instructions to find exactly who your squad is missing. Share the application page link on social media to start receiving applications. For players looking for a team, your search no longer has to get lost in a social media feed. Simply apply to put your profile directly in front of captains, show your motivation, and give teams the context they need to see why you are the right fit for their team. And for captains, review applications with the team, chat with candidates, and organize trials to find your perfect match. Discover all the new FACEIT League improvements at fce.gg/FLS9blog.
After a nail-biter of a map 3 on Numbani, we sit with a 2-1 lead here for Cafe Kintsugi up against Dhillducks, and you're in a Master Division Grand Finals. Well, every team that has chosen a map they've almost won it, aside from map 1. I guess Ducks chose map 1. But maps 2 and 3, each team winning their map choice. Ducks are hoping that trend continues here, picking Runasapi for map 4.
Yeah, Runasapi coming in seems to be the push map of choice for everyone at the moment. And I like the look of these bands too, right? The Jetpack Cat finally going away for now, and well, the Reaper getting banned up, which did a number on the Ducks last map. So they said, you know what? Let's put that on the back burner for right now.
I mean, I think of that as being one of karmez's best heroes, too. So I think that is a very indicative ban from Ducks. It just goes to show you how much LICH has just been putting the hurt down with the edgelord. Has these two big shotguns. I love the Reaper guy.
I know. He comes in from the side with his little shotguns, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, and they're dead. I don't remember the full copy boss or I would have said it for you. But I'm definitely excited. Yeah, I think they got it, right? But we shall see. Right, the differences, the changes of of what we'll be seeing from these two teams. Right, no Jetpack Cat available for this map, which has been played throughout the entire series so far. Right, what we're gonna how these two compositions will change is definitely something I'm excited to see.
Well, and I imagine we're getting back into core. Some variation thereof, right? You know, some variation of the Diva, the Lucio Curie with Soj Tracer. And I mean, that is what I call core. I think that's our fundamental Overwatch comp. That is kind of the baseline. Everything else is you know, kind of derived from right now in our esport. So you might see a variation on that, you know, be a Zarya instead of the Diva, or a Maga instead of the Diva, perhaps a Cassidy instead of the Sojourn. Little changes like that, but I'm expecting at its heart to get some sort of core look here on Runasapi. It's very powerful here, and it'll also put the emphasis, I think, a bit more back onto traditional hit scan play. Particularly on Runasapi, you have two very, very important fights on this map that are mirrored on opposite sides of the maps, right? So it's a mirrored map. One is going to be the fight for the street. You'll have the initial mid fight, which is kind of a 50-50. But from then on in, you have the fight for the street that favors the attacking team that's trying to kind of push downhill. And then you have the fight for the courtyard that tends to favor the defensive team, where they can set up in those windows. Both of those very important engagements put a lot of pressure onto your hit scans, and your hit scans can have massive impact into those fights. Another thing I might expect to see here is the return of the tracers, right? Especially with that Reaper banned out, look for karmez and LICH to potentially pull out a tracer. Now, we see that more from LICH. That's more of a question mark, I think, for karmez. I don't think of karmez as playing a whole lot of tracer. So that is one of the mystery spots for me here, where I don't really know what to expect.
Yeah, right. And we've seen them pick up the Cassidy, right, earlier on in the series. So maybe we see Snowl go over to that tracer role instead, and then we'll see what see if that's what the Ducks decide to do.
Shout out Virtual in the match chat there.
Shout out.
Virtual was the previous flex support player for Kintsugi that was part of the LFT after the team fell apart. But before they were able to get JUTSU in, Virtual had to step up and play hit scan for him for one map. And I mean, it was just kind of an off roll. Virtual had like the Sojourn performance of a lifetime. It was unreal good. So shout out Virtual, as without them, we would not have Kintsugi at all. Like, they would have had to forfeit that match, which would have been, I think, their final match, eliminating them from competition. If Virtual had not have off-rolled, and not just off-rolled, excelled on a Sojourn, Kintsugi would not be in these grand finals right now. So shout out Virtual.
Shout out Virtual, man. We'll see what things go.
Bulls.
As
those are my spirit animals right there, the twin bulls. Right, my birthday was yesterday, so I'm half Gemini and half Taurus. So the twin bulls are like the epitome of me. They're also a symbol of good luck in Peru. They're called the Pucara bulls. And they station them on the rooftops as overlooking the city as a sign of good luck and fortune. History
time with Jeff Bolska. I thought your spirit animal was Bolska.
It is. Let's just go with my cosmic animal is the twin bulls of Runasapi. Right.
We'll see if they can get, if Dhillducks can get that good fortune here to tie up the series. Yeah, again, karmez gonna be going over to another signature hero here of the Pharah. coming out online. Gonna have to be really careful though, right? With JUTSU on that Sojourn, but so will LICH need to be careful with a nice opening coming in already from Snowl. Now let's see if you can walk forward. Hitori on the Ramatra here as well, fighting it out on point to start us off, but someone is still looking for an upper hand, and it is redex taking Juno back to spawn here on the Lucio guy. Now it looks like, maybe not, but it looks like the Dhillducks have the upper hand.
Yeah, Dhillducks are, I think 4v2 was left in that fight, and they're able to get a kill on the KiWii on the way out. And what an interesting flavor. I was telling y'all to look out for just different flavors of core. Kintsugi run core, but with just a Ramatra instead of the Diva. Dhillducks, far more fascinating. What a spicy flavor of core with karmez on this Pharah. This was the X Factor. I told y'all I was not expecting the Tracer. Oh man, the Pharah is such a cool wrinkle. So good on this map.
Yeah, definitely, right? And like I said, one of the signature heroes of karmez. Something really to look out for, especially if JUTSU cannot focus on him the entire time, right? We have to deal with Snowl's own Sojourn as well, so you cannot always be looking in the sky, but so now not having someone to counter out LICH on that Tracer is going to allow Kintsugi to take back that point.
And that is exactly the problem with this composition. In that case, LICH is able to sneak their way all the way to jump pad and just gets easy access onto Frothy Philly. Didn't see if it was quite a one clip, but it was definitely an easy pick there for LICH. Didn't even feel the need to invest the pulse bomb, and everything just dominoes from there. JUTSU's accuracy continues to impress with a nice pair of headshots throughout that fight as well. Kintsugi winning that with 0 ult investment. They're gonna have a big bank to try to get this next fight win and in turn the first cap.
As now they come in all ready to go. Hitori have his annihilation already. She can pop it whenever she wants, but it's going to be the Kitsune rush from Dhillducks, from Frothy Philly. Start us off, and Juno goes down, and that's just going to allow the bot to get back into the Ducks' favor.
Yeah, just great shot calling, great focus fire from the Ducks. They hit Juno early. You don't even get that kill right out of the gate, but it forces Juno back, so there's no answer for the Frothy Philly Kitsune rush that was just layered right up that street. Very well played. Immediately, Snowl goes into a power position, and now suddenly it's Ducks fighting for the first cap. Snowl with an OC.
This ends now.
Overclock already taking LICH down earlier on. Now with the sound barrier coming up, Hitori falls. JUTSU tries to turn it back with a overclock of their own, but it's just not going to happen as the Ducks are in control and with forward spawns.
See the Juno Kitsune rush. I don't know if it got canceled at the end, if it was just late, or if it had faded and just got 0 value. Not entirely sure. Either way, Kintsugi fall flat in that fight, and we've got a swift checkpoint on the board here from the Dhillducks. You got Gravitic Flux and the Barrage to work with.
Flux coming right down onto Hitori. Annihilation now coming through. Gonna be stunned up. karmez down for the moment. KiWii in the back line looking to force positioning away as JUTSU taking shots at the Ducks here. And, well, it will allow Kintsugi to get back in control.
I mean, the heavy hitter that is JUTSU. Once again, I don't know how many times that we can sing their praises in one particular day, but JUTSU's going to test us. I'm sure they don't mind. We got to be well up into the dozens at this point. Triple kill for them in that fight. Hitori with a great annihilation, able to help survive through the pressure from the other side. Now, Dhillducks are making a swap. No more Sigma, no more Pharah. karmez does end up having to pull out the Tracer. Now we're in pure core here from Dhillducks. This is Fundamentals 101.
And we'll see how karmez's Tracer looks tonight. The pulse bomb comes through from LICH. Doesn't find a connection that you were hoping for. karmez now looking to pressure out LICH, but still waiting to see, looking to get these forward spawns. Is Kintsugi looking to overtake the Ducks, but Snowl is up to the task yet again with a rail shot. Taking the dome off of LICH, now pressuring back Kintsugi for the time being. And yeah, Snowl knows what's on their mind. That championship trophy coming in and up on there, as now they are back in control, swinging around Runasapi.
you can just see the massive amount of respect the entirety of Dhillducks are giving Jutsu, right? Krawi is backing, Hitori was backing away, but nobody pursued because of Jutsu. Here's a huge Kitsu out of Frosty Philly, though.
Yeah, might be able to pressure out Hitori here before they get this annihilation online. Kitsune rush back in response from Juno, though. Overclocked in from Snowl. Is it going to be enough? Karmez finding the pick on the Juno, but the picks are all in here for the Ducks to keep it going. Hitori trying to bring it back, but just all low there. She falls.
Okay, Karmez. I was not familiar with your game. I see your Tracer play. All right, I've got it logged. A mental note. Karmez with a nice 3-piece there. I thought, might be at a slight disadvantage trying to match Lich on one of the most prolific heroes in 10 years of Overwatch. But Karmez is looking outstanding so far.
Yeah, now they come up on the point as well. Lich is already down. Annihilation comes in, but Hitori is down as well. Dhillducks continuing to put the pressure on to Kintsugi right now.
Karmez continues to live and look outstanding. I mean, you're looking at a 1-4 split. Karmez played off this far left side. Didn't get the pulse in that previous fight, but hey, I think he got Suzu out with it, something like that. Sound barrier advantage and Jutsu with an OC. This is Kintsugi's fight to lose.
Yeah, they definitely need to take this fight here as Krawi falls down. Lich does get traded back immediately, though, but still, Kintsugi have the upper hand in this fight as Dhillducks have to wait for the D.Va to come back.
The Ducks are just eating time off the clock right now, right? They know they're not going to win this fight. They know they're not going to push the bot any further, as opposed to just trying to disengage. They said, hey, we're just going to keep Kintsugi busy and try to whittle as much time off the clock as we can. Then Dhillducks are going to return, have built up a little bit more of their ultimates because of that exchange, and try to match the support ultimates that are incoming from Kintsugi. See if redex can get up to this beat in time. It's going to be close.
There will be forward spawns now gone. There's
redex
the
down.
sound barrier out. redex falls down. It's a perfect opening for Kintsugi that you desperately needed. Soul does find two, though. Back in fourth it goes. Krawi with another kill, but again, in the end, it looks like Dhillducks, well, at least Kintsugi will move forward.
Yeah, it was a 2v2 when it was all said and done there. We are going to get a very quick re-engage. Krawi's not going to let them get any space into the courtyard. So it was just a very measured, swift disengage from Dhillducks, knowing they had the closer spawns. Very, very smart move from them there. We have not gotten into the ults out of Dhillducks, right? So KiWii invested that sound barrier. redex didn't quite have it in time, but at the end of the day, now you've got your own Kitsu in play.
Yeah, so that's already back in control are the Ducks, and they're about to get these forward spawns back in their back pocket with a pick onto Juno coming in. Well, maybe I just say that redex is going to have to deal with Lich on the point there. Finally falling, does pick Karmez, but still, Dhillducks in control.
I mean, not only in control, that was an ideal fight for them. They win that with only their Kitsune Rush. I suppose you best the whole bombs that were in the mix there. But you hold on to Overclock, you hold on to Sound Barrier, you have the lead, you have no onus to try to get aggressive. You can just sit and toe the line. redex Sound Barrier, what just happened? What the duck was that?
What the duck indeed. There goes Frothy Philly off the side of the map too. And oh my goodness, redex falls too.
Oh my, you know what? I love this game, man. I love this game. Wild stuff here for both of our teams. I'm not even sure what there. I don't have any good analysis for you on that one. We know redex spent beats, now spent OC. So we can look at the macro and see Kintsugi have the tools to get this checkpoint. There's only 10 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, the Kitsune Rush now coming in from Juno. This is the perfect opening for Kintsugi to make their mark and push forward. They still have a long way to go, almost 80 meters to push it there, but finding that pick onto Snowl early on. Finding Lich, though, is going to be huge, but I think it's just a consolation prize in the grand scheme of things here, Jeff, as Kintsugi move forward.
Honestly, any pick here from Dhillducks is massive. Kintsugi have to wait through overtime spawns, and there's a long walk back. JUTSU with an overclock in play, sound barrier as well. What a shot on the redex.
Redex falling is massive. They're trying to build up to that sound barrier if they can. Now Frothy Philly falling down as well. They do find the pick on the Jutsu, but again, it just doesn't seem like it's going to be enough to swing the fight back into Dhillducks' favor. But like you said, those spawns are still kind of far.
I mean, no Jutsu in this fight. Right, Dhillducks can come back 5 strong with a Kitsune rush, just throw this right on the objective and bulldoze their way into a tied grand finals. It'll be a race. It's gonna be very close. KiWii's gone for the taxi. Let's see if they can get Jutsu in this fight.
Well, the fight breaks out, and the Kitsune rush is down. They need an opening. Pick a nice pulse bomb. Eat coming in from Krawi. Gobble, gobble, gobble. There they go. Now the picks are in. The DPS are gone, and there it should be all over now. We're tied back up 2-2.
Yeah, and despite Kintsugi able to win a couple of team fights there at the end, each one cost them players. Each one, they're forced to kind of sit back and wait. And that all-important trade on the Jutsu just before that final fight. Not only do you eliminate the hit scan, but KiWii is forced to go back and try to taxi Jutsu all the way up into this fight and just does not make it back in time to really get set up. You're kind of there, you're kind of in the fight, but Snowl had already long gotten in a powerful position on top of that stairwell and was just able to pour railgun shots into that engagement. It was just a touch too late for Kintsugi. We're tied up. What a grand finals. Are we going to go back-to-back 7 mappers? I don't think that's ever happened.
I mean, would you have it any other way, though? These two teams have been putting on a show tonight. Just like in EMEA, these NA teams just do not know when to quit. And, I mean, goodness, right? We were having that question mark about the Tracer of Karmez. Showed up when they needed it most. And Dhillducks are back in the series. I mean, look at these, some of these highlights, man. There's the boops coming off the side of the maps. Oh my goodness! What an interesting what an interesting
environmentals. What a team fight! What a team fight!
What an interesting team fight indeed.
KiWii and redex come up with environmentals. Krawi gets a boop off the side. Hitori gets one with the primal. I mean, I swear at least 4. I guarantee at least 4 were environmentals. I think 6 of those were environmentals.
Yeah, that was
amazing.
One of the fights of all time there, Jeff. As now we head to we have to see where we're headed next, right? As well, there's only one game mode left, right? Yeah.
Rialto, Havana, or what we're missing? Rialto, Havana, not Blizz. There it is. Thank you, Jibby. Thank you, Prod.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prod. So those are your only 3 options, right? That's it. That's all you have to choose from. And each one kind of have their own style. Where Rialto is the most Cat Bastion friendly of the 3. Havana is going to be your most sniper friendly. If you want to play the poke, if you want to go back into the weird Sigma looks, if you want to put a lot of faith into your hit scan. It looks like, JUTSU and Snowl both having one hell of a day, so that wouldn't surprise me either. That's going to be all Havana. You want to go into more die focus? You want to put Hitori into a Winston? See if she's still got chops on that. Do we see the Divas come out? That's going to be more Jibby flavored. So all 3 of these escort maps very much have their own style.
Well, you were talking about Rialto, right, and how heavily favored Jetpack Cat Bastion is. We're not seeing Jetpack Cat Bastion here on our next map on Rialto because, well, the Dhillducks said absolutely not. We're not going to take that duel today, as the Dhillducks have banned out the cat, and Symmetra ban coming in from Kintsugi.
I love that both teams back-to-back banned the cat. And where it looked like both teams were kind of favoring Jetpack Cat early in the series. Now both teams are like, wait a minute. No, we don't want to do that anymore. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. Both teams earlier on, right? Those first 3 maps were playing really clinical cat comps, but now these that last map, a lot more chaos, a lot more variety, and we'll see what the variety will be as we head into Rialto for our next map. What we'll see, maybe we see more of that Zarya from Hitori, maybe some Winston as well to deal with those high grounds, right? How are they going to deal with the corner of death as well? That's a big question mark for both of these two teams. And then, well, from there, who's going to take the series lead and get on to match point?
Rialto is such an interesting map. You can actually play, a few different styles, but the different styles want to play in different parts of the map. Like, you stage differently. If you're going to put more emphasis on your hit scan, you play a lot further back on point A, for example, where you cover the whole courtyard with your guns. You have sightlines across the entire courtyard to prevent, say, a Zarya or a Maga comp from being able to close the gap. But if you want to play dive, you tend to stage on that front high ground and move from there and strike down and kind of poke down at your opponent and fly back up to the high ground, try to secure that. If you want to play, long range, you can also just kind of sit at the corner. You can also just, play Death Ball and play a Matra-based, Maga-based composition, say, defensively, and just play your corners. So very, very interesting pick that kind of opens the door wide for both teams here. I'm very curious what you bring. I don't even know what to expect here. Probably, if I had to guess, either more Maga or more Zarya.
Yeah, I'm just excited to hopefully see more of these hit scan duels between JUTSU and Snowl on most likely that Sojourn. Maybe we see some Ashe come in. We've seen that to be some people's flavor of the month when it comes out. But we will find out shortly as we load in to Rialto.
Yeah, the Ashe tends to be the anti-Castion. I think is where we're seeing the Ashe used more. Not to say that, it could be extremely viable here. I don't know if that's what we're gonna see. I'm full of questions. All we know is we're gonna get more fantastic Overwatch from these two teams. Only 3 maps remain here in your grand finals. Let's say a slight edge to Kintsugi as they were able to choose this pivotal tiebreaker map. They also got first ban, so they were the ones that eliminated the Symmetra and kind of ensured that they could lock whatever they wanted to. And you're talking about that Ashe. Snowl is actually flashing that for us here, as we will get the Ducks back into the Crazy Raccoon Sigma Mizuki composition.
Yeah, and I love Ashe for defensive holds specifically, right? Just especially when there are tight passageways that Rialto first, Rialto second, all of Rialto has, right? But Dynamite can just do so much work for Dhillducks, for Snowl. And we'll see if that's going to be the case. redex bringing out that Mizuki, like you said, see if it's going to be a difference maker as well.
JUTSU was anticipating a karmez Pharah or perhaps even an Echo there. You can see he was looking at the rooftops to start. This is where Snowl might struggle. Snow's got to be super aware and cautious of JUTSU and a Widowmaker. We know JUTSU has insane mechanics, and now that's going to be put to the test here versus the Snowl Ashe. It's actually going to be LICH who goes to the far, and JUTSU, after not finding what they wanted initially, will swap to a Sojourn to try to take this first port in earnest.
Yeah, I like this Pharah luck with the Winston, right? Can really capitalize on the dive with the new way the Pharah works with those directional bursts come through. JUTSU already finding an opening here for Kintsugi as well. So you're already setting up pretty, and now, well, you're gonna kind of have to just reset or die as Kintsugi is broken up, open this first point.
Yeah, Krawi will sacrifice himself to get JUTSU. redex and Frothy Philly getting into the mix? Okay. That is actually enough to where Kintsugi cannot just hold bridge. That's going to give the Dhillducks an opportunity to retake here before the cap comes through. Awesome to see the Hitori Winston in play. She's one of the most versatile tanks we have playing in NA right now. Seems like she's exceptional on so many different heroes, and Kintsugi taking advantage of it on this attack.
Yeah, definitely, and we see Krawi trying to counter out that Winston a little bit more with that Diva swap over. Also trying to protect that Snowl a little bit more as well. But you still have to be mindful, be careful. LICH is in your back line. Hitori now up on the front line. As he's gonna walk in, Juno Rush is coming through, drooling on the point. As Krawi gets demacked, and that might just be the beginning of the end. And it is indeed, as Kintsugi are opening up point number 2.
There's a really nice concussion blast from LICH that hit Krawi right as they landed from their boosters, and it knocked Krawi deeper into that courtyard, meaning they didn't even have a chance to get back to safety. You end up getting capitalized on. The Kitsune Rush was just thrown right on, right into the mix to try to save them. It's late. It doesn't get there in time to prevent that DMAC on Krawi. So, I mean, that was the best of both worlds there from Kintsugi, winning the Kitsune trade as well as getting in the other out. LICH with a huge dive in. There's that pounce you were talking about. LICH just swooped in like an eagle and walked away with 2 prizes.
Yeah, and that just wins them the fight off the back of one ultimate. Yeah, again, you can hold on. You break open this corner of death. Obviously, you still have to worry about this hold, but there's nothing on the line for Dhillducks.
So Snow's going to make a swap over to the Cassidy. Karmez goes back into the Trace, so we're back in pure core here for Ducks to see if they can prevent this point being capped.
Overclock in from JUTSU already, and redex is dealt with swiftly. Everything just turning up. Kintsugi yet again. JUTSU with 3 in that fight, and Kintsugi are just pedal through the metal right now. They cannot be stopped.
Yeah, it's a gargantuan time bank walking into point C. You basically saunter through B without any hiccups. JUTSU, I mean, the 3-piece overclock, brilliant. Snowl, though, there's the pressure relief valve. Dhillducks have been waiting all map for.
Yeah, they needed something, and lancing that wound right then and there, taking Juno out and forcing a reset.
Somebody in chat saying you want to smell cash. You'll get it. It's 2 minutes after they asked for it, but you'll get it. But now Dhillducks will have to hold for a solid 4 minutes here. Don't really have a lot to work with. They'll be able to just fend off Kintsugi for 20 seconds or so, but Juno's going to ult, and things are going to get really dangerous for the Ducks really quickly.
But saw the writing on the walls, and now on to the Reaper guy yet again. Sune Rush now coming in from Juno, starting it off already. Hitori with the Primal in the back line, forcing him away. Only finds 1, but that's all you need when the rest of your team is cleaning up kills just like that. And we're already into the last stretch with 3:15 on the board.
Yeah, LICH already finding value with that Reaper swap. You put him in a bad spot. Ducks just weren't ready for that Kitsune Rush at all.
Let the Kitsune go.
Well, better late than never, though. Frothy Philly has their own Kitsune Rush, and you're just going to kite away, right? JUTSU falling down. And, well, yeah, I mean, you can give up this fight easily, right? You have all this time in the world, and you don't have to take a fight at your disadvantage. Losing Juno like that is going to buy even more time for Dhillducks.
And yeah, it was a bit of a sloppy disengage. It looked like it was going so well for Kintsugi just to back away from the rush. And, you know, the amp speed was well-timed. Everybody got out, but JUTSU just doesn't get into cover in time, ends up falling. And then we see a similar thing happen to Juno, where they're just kind of sitting out on cover, and karmez sneaks in for the final blow. 2 deaths that were really feeling unnecessary, but here's a KiWii beat to respond.
Oh, and there it is. The Deadeye comes in clutch, and now 3. Make it 4 for Snowl. And that is that team kill coming through. And now Dhillducks have hit their stride.
Oh, you know, as you said once in the series, better late than never, I suppose. Still with 2 minutes left on the clock. Job is far from over for this Dhillducks defense. Hitori's going to swap to a Zarya. Just front load, push this thing in with overwhelming force. Particularly good against Zarya in that 1-to-1 matchup. Gets a go.
LICH into the back line goes with that bubble. Has to back away pretty quickly, though. Death Blossom still ready. Hitori down though. Gonna have to force that self-destruct in. LICH gets caught while they wait it out. And again, Dhillducks are able to hold it out with the last couple of kills from karmez and Snowl.
Now coming alive here late in the map. You know what? After making that Cassidy swap, so far has been actually getting the better end of JUTSU, which you would think the Ashe would have the advantage theoretically over the Soj, and the Soj would have the advantage over the Cassidy. Yeah, how did LICH just sneak that far? That was kind of wild. But you know what? This has been all Snowl on this defense as far as the hit scans. Once we've hit point C.
First time Twitch chat ever gets something right, perhaps. As they called for the Cassidy, and the Cassidy's doing wonders. Now LICH down as well. Death Blossom still in their back pocket as they just win that fight off the back of that one kill.
Now Chet says never seen Snowl lose on Cass, I swear. So far, that's actually holding up 2 minutes later, 3 minutes later. But you know what? Kintsugi rush available from Juno, LICH with the Death Blossom, and Hitori might be able to build up towards this grab if things go right for Kintsugi. A lot of tools for Kintsugi to push this home, but it's their last chance. And Snowl with an opener. Snowl with 2.
Snowl with 2, but they finally fall. Now Death Blossom into the back line, but it just doesn't seem like it's not going to matter, right? As Hitori's the last person alive. Well, I mean, KiWii's there as well with the sound barrier going to come through, but you just don't have the opportunity to land it onto Hitori to keep her up in this fight. Now respawns back. JUTSU has made the swap over to the Tracer. Can they find an opening? But no, they do not. Frothy Philly finishes it off with a kunai as Dhillducks hold out on point number 3 after an impressive push by Kintsugi.
Yeah, I mean, that was damn near 5-minute time bank from Kintsugi going into that forward point. A lot of it, I mean, the back of this play right here, LICH just floats over the rooftop and drops and descends for a beautiful 2-piece on the barrage. And this marches the cart into point C, very uncontested. And it looks like Kintsugi are just about to, just dominate Rialto in very short fashion. But Dhillducks make the appropriate swaps. I mean, Snowl goes into the Cassidy. We see Krawi go into the Diva. And everything starts coming up Ducks. Snowl with an exceptional performance after making the Cassidy swap.
Yeah, and right, I think I've said it before today. Obviously, with the way the escort and hybrid maps are designed, the more and more you get towards the defender spawn, it will get harder and harder. And right, if they didn't win it in those first 2 fights, Kintsugi had their backs against their wall, and then they let Dhillducks and Snowl get all the momentum in the world. Now this is going to be a hard defense for them after giving up a lot from a lot of that momentum.
23 to 26 in deaths, by the way. Dhillducks with the lower number on that, a 3-player advantage in total deaths on their defense. But honestly, by the time it was all said and done, ends up being a very even stat card. Of course, your defenders have to win more fights to win out the map. Now on the attack, we're not getting much change. Now we're going to stick with this Cassidy, the Cassidy variation of core here from Dhillducks.
Yeah, I mean, why swap off of something that was working so well for you? Now we'll see if Krawi's very low, needs to get healed up, is going to get demeched, so that's going to put a damper on this first push for Dhillducks, especially if you lose Snowl here as they're trying to get away, but they're going to get pressured out. JUTSU finding that shot and setting up a good defense for Kintsugi to start. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking, this composition is pure fundamentals. Dhillducks forgot those fundamentals. You cannot let Kintsugi just stage on this high ground and try to muscle it around the corner. That's not going to work against the Winston composition. Hitori just sits up top and is able to move down and up as she pleases. Now we're getting, here you go, you should have done this the first time. Ducks, go to try to clean off this high ground. This is part of what you have to do against the Winston. You've got to dislodge Hitori. Even getting LICH first is a good start, but it's not enough.
Was a great clean kill on the LICH as well. And now KiWii falling down. The speed boost now no longer there, but now you have to be careful, right? You've gotten them dislodged, but they have a great entry ult.
That was huge. The first pick was good, but the disengage, intercept. Now Snowl catches KiWii early with a death blossom. Nicely done. That fight's over.
And they invested Kitsune Rush as well into that fight, Jeff. That is a huge ultimate taken out, and Dhillducks are able to open it up here. Obviously had to use their own Kitsune Rush in that fight, but now you've got ultimates to boot. You've got this, and now you're trying to take corner of death early.
Nothing gets past me.
And redex with a massive sound barrier advantage. This is enormous. It can be a perfect tool to fend off Jutsu's overclock. You could also just use it to get aggressive here if Dhillducks really want to. But we call this a corner of death for the reason. You got to round 2 corners and take high ground. With Jutsu on high ground, I mean, looking a bit like an unbeatable Jedi up there.
Yeah, I was about to say, looking like Ewan McGregor for a moment here. Now, yeah, you've already lost this fight, and you've now you've lost the momentum you had. Maybe not. Karmez to find 3 of their own in this fight. Gonna try to back away, but allowing an opportunity for those respawns to come back quickly.
And Karmez is able to take the high ground, so you can kind of deny some of that from Jutsu. You also took Jutsu out of their overclock in that same exchange. Hitori with the primal rage here to try to stop the cartel.
But now you see Karmez in the backline. The sound barriers come through. Don't really know the value was there. Probably has to invest in self-destruct. Gonna come in, not gonna find anyone, and does fall in the midst of it, so cannot stay in this fight. Is LICH trying to get away, was hindered up, but still, it is Kintsugi holding.
That could be an exchange. It's, you know, KiWii tried to get aggressive. Honestly, a really good bubble out of Hitori. I mean, just confident, fundamental play. Nothing really exceptionally special on that. Just Kintsugi not really making any mistakes or force Dhillducks into a bad spot and just slowly close their grip on it. Frothy Philly Kitsune Rush is going to be very difficult to get in play here. You can see Krawi has to put pressure on high ground. I think he would have tried to bait Dhillducks to the, bait Kintsugi to the low ground, then hit your rush.
Now, we see what Kintsugi or Dhillducks have to work with here. They've got this Kitsune Rush in a second. So does Kintsugi as well. And Snowl falling down early on is just not what you needed. Death Blossom now coming through. Krawi trying to eat it all up, but not able to do it enough. There it goes yet again. Kintsugi holding, maybe not. Karmez tries again to turn it back, but Hitori's there to stay no.
One thing I was definitely mistaken about was Karmez's chops on this Tracer. I mean, his look lights out good, even in losing fights. But Dhillducks, like, they had the same thinking I did, but they didn't wait for Kintsugi to drop. They just turned the corner and hit the rush, and there was nobody there.
And now we go forward. Deadeye already here, but again, this Court of Death needs more. You need a lot to invest into this. You have self-destructed a second, but there's the primal rage early on coming out from Hitori. She's buying time, she's buying space. Deadeye comes through from Snowl, pulse bomb out. Gonna get Suzu'd away. No one's gonna die to that, and no one dies to the Deadeye either. Still waiting, still looking for an opening. Dhillducks desperately need something, but well, there it is. redex comes alive at the perfect time to take LICH out of this fight. Now overclock in from Jutsu, but Frothy Philly falls. The picks keep coming through from Kintsugi as they're gonna be able to hold on yet again. We're under 30 seconds to go.
I mean, it looked like Dhillducks were slowly but surely finding a foothold on that point. You're able to just kind of muscle Kintsugi back with some good shooting. Hitori not able to hold that high ground. And then Jutsu just pops Aatlis, slides onto the stairs, and immediately gets 2 spectacular kills. What a play, what a game.
Kitsune rush in from Frothy Philly. This needs to be huge for the Ducks. Krawi needs to stay alive. They've got to use this self-destruct after they've gotten some kills, but redex falls. The Jutsu flank starting us off here. Self-destruct in, karmez down. It's all over now as Kintsugi take map number 5 and set themselves up to match point.
Fortunately for the Ducks, this is a first to 4. We're not done. But man, JUTSU has got to be sending them a very clear message. In that case, it was a huge flank around to the top of the window. Kind of the overpass little window covering that point in the arc. Right here, this exact window right there. That's where JUTSU loops all the way up to that spot and just starts pouring shots into the back line. And that was it. That was done for Final Fight. A very smart play, just a one-person swing all the way into the back like they're playing Call of Duty, right? Like, I'm just going to go run around and hit him from behind, right? That's what everybody tried to do in COD. It rarely works in Overwatch. JUTSU had just exceptional timing, the perfect aim to make it work. And you know what? You got to have those kind of skills to make them. I mean, just look at this whole thing. Could just be a JUTSU highlight reel. Although Snowl and karmez put up some good work. Let's not beat around the bush.
I mean, yeah, so put on their big boy pants on that defense there. Really set the tone. Just could not follow it up. Got stopped right at the corner of death where all pushes come to fall. And, I mean, in the end, right, Kintsugi, the failure to complete point 3 did not bite them in the end, and now they're up 3-2. I mean, is this the final map? Are we going to see them come in as back-to-back champions?
Man, what a fate. What an unbelievable storyline if Kintsugi can win themselves one more map. I mean, just unreal between your last season champions, how disastrous, I mean, catastrophic this season started for Kintsugi. And for them to pick themselves up off the ground, put the pieces back together with gold-laden glue, and bring up something so much better, to bring up something even more beautiful to the table here in Season 8. Man, it would be the perfect conclusion to an incredible story if they can just close this out. But you know what? With the way karmez and Snowl are playing, I'm just going to throw out the Map 7 prediction right here and now, Joker.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, right? I mean, we've seen so much Overwatch today, and I don't expect it to end now, but we are finally going to be seeing Lijiang Tower tonight, as we will be going there now. And, well, interesting ban here. Dhillducks have banned out the Bastion, with the Lucio being banned in response by by Kintsugi, as we'll see, right? I mean, obviously, Dhillducks don't still want to deal with the Cat Bastion. Makes sense. JUTSU has looked really good on the Bastion, but again, JUTSU has looked really good everywhere else we've seen them play today. But the Cat is back for this next map.
We have seen, perhaps the Cat with a Cassidy or something like that. But far less likely. And it's been at far fewer times, far fewer instances where you run the jetpack Cat when you don't have the Bastion to tether around the map and to get that just exorbitant amount of damage into any spot you want. So, 3 bans in a row targeting the Cat or the Bastion after we saw nothing but Bastion for the opening 3 maps. So quite a turnaround here. I'm very curious what we have in store. I want to see more of this karmez Tracer. This karmez Tracer has got a lot of potential behind it, a lot of punching power behind it that, frankly, I had forgotten just how good karmez looked on this hero. And that's one of the things that makes me think that the Dhillducks could absolutely take this map. Now, another thing to consider, they had their pick of the litter. All game types were open now. You know, you can choose between all 5 game types here. You just can't repeat a map that's already been played. So an extremely powerful pick in map 6 where Dhillducks will take us to Lijiang Tower. So kind of make of that what you will, right? I feel like this is similar to King's Row, where it's a map that I'm not sure anybody has an advantage.
Now, are those fireworks in the background there, Jeff? Are those a premonition to what we have in store? Will Kintsugi stay atop the Masters division, or do Dhillducks have an upset in them to force a map number 7? We'll find out in under 10 seconds here as we find, we see that Mauga come out from Dhillducks with, we need to swap sides here first and foremost. As Kintsugi are in blue and Dhillducks are in red, and there they go, swapping it quite quickly. Big up production on our end.
Once again, thinks the Sigma is going to be a tough map to play Sigma on, too. Krawi's got to maintain their distance from Hitori, and that includes from the overrun as well. If Krawi gets stopped, this is just going to be trouble. There goes Hitori.
There they go. Already Snowl into the back line with that boost from the cat. Point is going to be taken up by Dhillducks to start us off here on our, one of our decider maps of the series. Well, we'll see as Hitori gonna get pressured out and gonna get eaten up, but Juno finds the pick onto karmez early on. Now JUTSU looking to find some more, and they do. They take Frothy Philly out and look to take back this point before it gets too out of hand. Up to about 28% here. Now make it 29 for Dhillducks.
I mean, and Dhillducks go up early in that fight, but say it with me, friends. If JUTSU's still alive, job's not done. JUTSU once again taking over. 3-piece on the Cassidy, and just leaves my jaw on the floor. I love watching this gamer. Oh my goodness.
That's what Chet said about it's JUTSU's world, and we're just living in it right now. As Krawi, though, finds Hitori early on in this fight, and that's going to be huge. Juno finding another pick, though. Frothy Philly gone. They're going to try to come back onto this is Dhillducks. They're going to push at the objective here with this Deadeye coming in from Snowl, but you're just going to get 2-pieced by LICH with those Hellfire shotguns. As a Reinhardt swap here coming in from Hitori as well. Now with the Kai Sanctuary down on the point. Still the flux in, Hitori low, but the healing is there, keeping her up and alive. Is now, you're sitting pretty. You gotta wait for something to come through.
Kintsugi survived. That was so many ultimates. And Kintsugi just shrug them off. JUTSU turns around and gets an insane kill. Pin on the Krawi. Absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema indeed. Hitori with the Reinhardt pushing her German heritage in full force onto this match.
It does feel like Hitori should have like a home field advantage in playing the Reinhardt, right? You know, you get the hottie buff. You know, it's very similar, very similar.
It's just like when Captain Crash plays Suravasa, right? They're gonna come in to slam down onto 2 as they find a pick coming through. But Krawi does turn out LICH as well, but Juno finding another one, and this might just be the round done and dusted unless something changes drastically. There's the flight, there's the pick coming in from JUTSU. There's Kitsune rush out onto the point, and it's just Krawi left. redex trying to stagger. Karmez back, looking for anything, but it's Kintsugi taking this first control point.
1 round from making history as the first team ever to win back-to-back Master Division championships. And JUTSU is looking like, OWCS. Just looks like OWCS caliber performance that we have seen from JUTSU all day long, living up to the hype and, passing our tests with flying colors. 4 deaths to, what are we looking at? 8, 14, 19. 4 to 19 in deaths. Overwhelming force exhibited by Kintsugi.
in the backline staying alive that entire time. It's just a huge testament to this Kintsugi roster. They continue to dominate here and now. See if it's going to be enough. Is Hitori? She's keeping on the German Crusader. And so we'll see if it's going to matter, if it's going to be enough. Is karmez trying to lock down this point early on, but a lot of people low on the Ducks early on, and JUTSU finds an opening. How many times have we said it tonight? JUTSU with the opening pick, and now Dhillducks are on the back foot and already getting chained down. Krawi falling, and this is all over now for this first fight on second.
Yeah, JUTSU just wins the head-to-head against Snowl straight up, proven to the cowboy def in that opening fight. Then you just hold Krawi in with a great chain out of KiWii, and boom, the beautiful 1-2 punch, easily securing first cap for Kintsugi. Now they're here to hold the bridge and are already close to a Deadeye and a Kintsugi rush as well.
Now coming in over the bridge here. Snowl already low, took a fire strike to the face. karmez just getting pressured out and pressured out. He needs to get some healing, and I don't know if this Vara is the answer that Dhillducks need as Redex falls. JUTSU does get traded before that happens, though. It's a huge opening for Dhillducks here now. Now they can invest this Kitsune Rush. Juno's used theirs a little bit earlier, didn't find the value you're hoping for. Now you have to back away, back up, and LICH falling. This is the opening that Dhillducks desperately needed. Hitori running forward, but she falls in the end, and Dhillducks now are in control.
I think that was a moment where KiWii and Hitori were discussing whether they use Sanctuary, right? We're like, do we Sanctuary here? Hitori's kind of hiding in the corner under a lot of pressure. KiWii's like, and then Hitori's like, don't worry about it, save it for next fight. It just pins in and dies. Right? It's like, all right, we're just going to end this fight now. We don't like the way that is going. karmez actually making the Pharah work a lot better there in that particular fight. Does take some damage early, but is able to create a great angle and get in and force Kintsugi into this white room. They're trying to make an approach from the same room. They've got double DPS ults now to make it work. Oh, that was so close.
Yeah, could not land the chain there onto the Cassidy. But we'll see if they can push forward now. The barrage in the Kai Sanctuary just in time to mitigate everything from that barrage. Now Juno starting us off yet again. Kintsugi in control of the point. karmez does find an opening, but I don't think it will be enough unless Krawi has something to say about this. But the DMAC gonna come through quite quickly, and now Kintsugi are back in control.
Yeah, perfect Kukai Sanctuary. The timing was pristine on that. And JUTSU just still seems to have plot armor. Does eventually get found out, but not before taking their toll on the Dhillducks ranks. And we'll be back perfectly in time for this fight. Kintsugi are one team fight from taking your Season 8 champions.
Got eye in. Snowl all looking for an op. But are they going to find anything? Hitori stands tall with her shield in the face of adversity. Coming in, JUTSU with 2 all ready to finish it all off.
They're doing it.
Death Blossom, 80% to go. 20 seconds remain. Can Dhillducks do anything now?
This is going to be a tough ask. Somebody's got to go to a Tracer. Redex is going to try to fly in. Okay, they don't make the Tracer swap. They think Redex can get this OT. This is going to be close. Kintsugi have a Kitsune Rush to secure the finals.
There they get the touch, but Redex is going to pay for it with their life. The Kitsune Rush in, barrage out, but karmez is down. This is all but over here, Jeff. The self-destruct comes through. The overtime ticking away. Adversity did not destroy this team. It made them a masterpiece. Kintsugi stands whole, beautiful, and victorious at the top of FACEIT Masters.
You're in a champions. Alone here. No more broken pieces. Kintsugi are whole. And they are victorious over the Ducks today. Back to back. FACEIT League Master Division champions. Creating history, an unachieved feat, an unheard of feat. Before now, Kintsugi have done the impossible when all odds were stacked against them. What an incredible season. What a beautiful finish to this storybook tale of the Kintsugi roster. Cafe Kintsugi, a hard-earned fight all the way through the lower bracket. They made the Cinderella run from lower bracket round 1 to go all the way through and win this championship. Unreal.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Bound in gold indeed is this Kintsugi roster as they finish it all off. I mean, goodness gracious, we've been singing the praise, but this team was just undeniable at times.
I mean, JUTSU is not just MVP of this match, which is, I mean, yes. I think JUTSU is MVP of the league. That's where I'm at right now. JUTSU is your MVP of Season 8, period.
Hey, who more would know than John FACEIT himself, Bullskunk? But I think I'd have to agree with you there. I mean, this Kintsugi roster just was undeniable. Like I said, they could not be stopped and broke the back and forth series there that we were having and finishing it off on map number 6.
Unreal. Unbelievable. Wow. This is I swear this is the most fun I have had in so long. This is my favorite day of the season each and every time. Look at that lower bracket run. I mean, it just seems like one historic event after another for Kintsugi. How often, I mean, I'll tell you how often. You don't see a team go through lower bracket round 1 and win your championship. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah, not at all. They continue to impress, and we'll see if they can make their mark on OWCS in these promotion and relegation matches coming up this week. Dhillducks will be there too, but I mean, it's going to be a banger, no less. Disguised Extinction, Dhillducks in Kintsugi. Who stays and who goes?
Yeah, they precious coveted spots in OWCS up for grabs, and we will see both of these teams there. And you know what? We could see you there down the line. Go sign up for Season 9 right now. It is open. I got registration available for everyone. Get your butt in there. Get on some FACEIT League. Have the most fun you've ever had playing Overwatch. I can personally attest to it. Win or lose, it is absolutely the best time you will have playing this game. That comes from personal experience. No lie. An improved Season 9 here. We've got a better team finder. We've got tokens to make it easier to figure out the final perfect fit for your squad. We've got a later roster lock, so you have more time to iron it out, to get the perfect team together. You know, turn strangers into teammates, turn teammates into friends. Join FACEIT League now. Season 9. Use code BULLSKUNK. Get 20% off.
Yeah, and obviously, again, we'll take a look at it on that all new and improved Team Finder coming at you live as well for this. There it is right there on the bottom of your screen. Again, new and improved role specification, ability expectations, granular filters, skill level, region, language requirements, and much, much more. And also an application instruction so you know how to apply as well. So make sure to check that out for this upcoming FACEIT season.
Wow, but that is it. Season 8 is in the books. We close the story on one incredible chapter of FACEIT League, one incredible book here in FACEIT League. It feels like it was just multi-chapter, multifaceted, and a lot of hard work from all of our teams. Big shout out, everybody from FACEIT League to all of our participating teams, particularly Master Division. Each one of you are legends, all right? Just making it to Master Division takes an insane amount of work. It's an incredible feat. And every one of our teams here in this division should definitely be holding their heads up high. I hope I see y'all back here. We will return briefly. And Season 9 kicks off in like 2 weeks. You're not going to have much downtime at all. We will have more Overwatch action just around the corner. But that is going to do it for us this time. Thank you, everyone for hanging out, and from everybody here at FACEIT League, from production and observers and all of us here on this broadcast, we really appreciate you spending Championship Sunday here with us. Happy birthday, Overwatch! We'll see you soon.